Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy, and it's time for another top 10. To all those new to the top 10s, what we do is we do go through the top 10 sales over on eBay. I do not repeat, so if 6 in a row are posters, I'm not going to show you 6 straight of the same poster. That would be boring. We do have some bonus stuff at the end. Coming in at number 10, speaking of posters, all here have given American Red Cross World War I poster, 1918 original antique vintage. Neat looking poster over here, no doubt at all about it. Wonder if they gave the size on this. Let's see, 14 by 22. So that's a fairly good size poster over there. Looks to be in very, very nice shape for what it is as well. A lot of times these come tattered for $395. Nice little buy for somebody. Coming in at number 9, original WW2 American Red Cross woman's jacket with patch. Doesn't look like much from the front. Be one of those things that if you were at a sale and they just had this hanging on a door, you may not look at it till you look over on the side and you got the American Red Cross there on the sleeve, which really made it a $450 jacket, no doubt at all about that. So do look, or if they had it in the closet facing the wrong way, you might not see that. It was actually ended instead of sold. Sorry about that, but we know what they were asking on it. Coming up next, helmet, WW2 German Red Cross, $470. That has seen some wear throughout the ages, beaten up as well. But the other nice thing I did notice, which I don't deal in helmets, but people always put a ton of pictures of them up, and I guess you need to do so, obviously, just to kind of show all of the wear, because that is a worn helmet, no doubt at all about it. No pun intended on that one. Coming up next, William Taft, 1910, typed letter signed as president, Red Cross stationery. Really cool over here. In fact, if you read it over here, as president of the American Red Cross, the executive committee, it is signed right over there by William Taft. This is one of those things that you're going to get multiple people wanting, because there are people out there that will want the presidential signature as well. So it's something or other that has extra value beyond just the president before or after of the Red Cross, just to let you know. Coming up next, Sterling WW1 Red Cross Liberty Golf Tournament Medal, 1917, $550. And again, that's one of those things over there, really neat. You could find this kind of thing in the little trays that people put at the front of their stands. They might go, it looks like it's probably silver, I don't know, $50, that kind of deal, because they're thinking of the sterling silver value as opposed to the value of it as a collectible. Coming up next, gorgeous 1931 50-year anniversary Joint American Red Cross nurse poster, linen, $575. Look at that, just a wonderful piece right over there. Really nice shape as well on that. $575. Those things are absolutely beautiful items. It definitely is artwork. Linen backed as well. 20 by 30 on that over there. Awesome item. WW2 Red Cross flag hospital ship ID Military Army Corps Navy 1944, $599.99. If I remember right, this was kind of flowing to let the enemy, whoever the enemy would happen to be, not to sink the ship. That it is not a ship of war. It is it's a Red Cross ship type deal, or a medical ship. Much as you're supposed to respect and not, attempt not to harm medical personnel. In the field, they're there to do a job. They're not there for they're non-combatants. Same kind of deal over here. $599 on that. Just a great item. See, 23 by 33. Similar flags are stained and torn, and this one looks great. Now, I'm not sure if this one looks great is the right selling point. Potentially, I mean, it is nice to have nice condition, but the flip side of that is, if you have some back history on it and it is stained and torn, that's kind of interesting as well. So condition isn't always everything on these type deals. The provenance and the story behind it also has value potentially. Antique English Trophy British Red Cross Society Award plaque, silver shield. Just an interesting looking plaque over here. It went for about $600 as well. Actually, not all that large with it standing up like that over there. Let's see if they give us a size over here. 13 by 17. So it's a fairly good sized item. Not gigantic, but fairly good sized. So kind of interesting there. Original WW2 American Red Cross uniform dress and skirt grouping named Miss Kraut. $695 on that. Just interesting to see all of it together like that, with the volunteer there on the sleeve and more. WW2 as well on that over there. It must have come from the estate, I would think, which is how they know. Look at that. Dress, hat, skirt, apron, name tag, issued Red Cross shoes. Wow. So the fact that that's all stayed together throughout all these years is amazing. And Superman, number 34, CGC 7.5, rare golden age DC comic, $1,700. Now, that's a fairly high grade for an older comic book. I didn't even know it existed. That is a cool looking cover for sure. During the war, all of the American comics, the superhero comics especially, did take part in I'm just seeing that you relisted it. That's kind of interesting. They do take part in the war effort. A lot of them had them beating up the Germans and the Japanese and the Italians, and they had the stereotypical artwork of the time back then as well. But they also did the positive things as well, pushing war bonds, for example, and pushing the Red Cross. So kind of interesting comic there. That was actually number one. And do remember 1700. Some bonus for you over here. 1918 original WW1 Red Cross student nurse recruiting poster. Dan Smith, who would have been the artist on that. $300, which actually seems, I don't know, seems kind of low on it for being that old and in that condition. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful poster, as you can see. Only went for $300. Wow. Vintage 1934 Lewis Hine Red Cross Madonna Flood Relief Watkins Glen silver print. $304 on that photo. Now, it is an archival photo. If you look down over here, it did come from Brown Brothers. Came from an estate that was archived stock photo agency, and it was Leland's ended up selling it off. But still, $304 for that one item right over there. Kind of amazing, kind of photo that you could, you may not find the original like that, but the type of thing to keep your eyes open for when you're out there looking through photos. WW2, 1938 to 1945, Manchukuo, Red Cross member for women, Japan medal, Japanese badge. How many of these could have really have made it through? And I wouldn't know what that is, obviously. I mean, I guess you could Google Lens, Google Translate the back there and figure that out. But still, just one of those items you see out there. A lot of the old dealers aren't gonna Google Lens it. They're gonna have that out there. It's gonna be in their $10 box if they have it, or $5 box. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. It looks old. Japanese, maybe Chinese. They're not gonna know what the heck it is. You do now, and it's $280. This I thought this went for way too little. Went for under $250 because they took an offer. Vintage Red Cross first aid medical kit, wood tool box cabinet medicine case. Look at all the things that came with it over there, and they're still in there intact. That to me is amazing, with all that stuff over there, that it went for that little. I mean, you could, not that you would want to, you want to keep the archive together, but you could piecemeal those items out for $10 a piece, easy $10 a piece, maybe even more. You're getting a lot of value right over there for whatever the price was on that, just to let you know. In WW1 era, Morristown, New Jersey, American Red Cross Canteen Service enamel pin, $250 on that. And look at that, it's smaller than a quarter. Just a tiny little thing over there, $250. The type of pin, again, you could find in a dealer's, sitting up at the front of a dealer's case, and they're not going to be asking $250 on it. They're going to be asking $5-10 on it. They might ask $20 and say it's Red Cross, it's really good. Buy it. Just telling you to buy it. Keeping with the superhero theme over here, look here at the top, little Red Cross needs your support. Just that little line there, $675. Now, of course, it is an early detective, early Batman comic, of course, but $675 on that. And a lot of people would not have mentioned Red Cross. So the fact that the seller did, I think it's because there wasn't a huge superhero on the cover, or villain on the cover, you know, Joker or Penguin or something like that. Obviously, you list that instead. But he put Red Cross in, went for $675. And we had seen earlier that a 7.5 went for $1,700. Here we are. So $900 cheaper for a 5.5. So if you do have a higher grade one, it definitely is worth getting graded because that grading fee added $950 to it. Now, granted, you know, of course, raw, people would look and grade them as well and say, well, that one looks nicer than that one. But you've got the certification, you've got it, you know, the opinion, which is all that it is. You have the opinion of CGC that one is 2 grades better than the other one. And that opinion made a difference of $900 in the selling price. Hopefully that does help you. To hit the like button if you can. And we will see you next video.